So this post is going viral on Facebook and it's got two people, a man and a woman, both black, of course, and they are on vacation in a lagoon. Tropical vibe. You want her to submit, take her out of survival mode, black prayer hands. That's where we're at. That's the meme of the day. So I could respond to this by itself, but I decided to highlight some comments, most of which I haven't thoroughly read because I want to kind of respond to them live, as I read them and figure out what they got to say. So, the majority of comments that you're going to see if you were actually to go to the post is going to be mostly males. And you can see, like, some of the stuff that they're saying, survival mode for a lot of women is just being a basic functioning adult, things like that. A lot of things that go against the post. So I was scrolling to see the ones where the women were going with the grain and basically saying, like, listen, this is right. And this is why it's right, because I wanted a woman's perspective on this. So I haven't completely read this. I just expanded her thread. She has quite a bit on here. So this woman says, and she's in a relationship, she says, some of us are in survival mode because we never had another choice. When a man loves her correctly and shows her what it's like to have a real man, she can come out of survival mode. I'm not about to respond to this because it's a whole bunch of nothing. There's no tangible anything here to respond to or debate. When people are saying things like real man, it's just BS. It's BS. It's fluffy talk. It's nothing to grab onto because a real man is subjective. I'll tell you, I don't know if I ever said this on a channel, but when you ask a chick what a real man is, or you see a chick say a real man, what did it? All a real man is somebody that fulfills whatever wants or needs a chick has at that moment, or just whatever. That's all it's going to come down to. If she wants a bacon, egg, and cheese McBagel, a real man will buy her a bacon, egg, and cheese McBagel. So this is fluffy. Let's continue. And just in case I didn't articulate that good enough, that is in a woman's eyes. That's in a woman's eyes. Whatever, when she gets to saying what a real man is and what a real man would do and stuff, it's always strictly to their benefit. It's never nothing like, oh, a real man is a man of integrity. Nothing like that. It's never no real solid stuff. It's just what she wants. But anyways, let's see if this second paragraph can give us anything that we can latch on to and talk about. We live in a time where women feel that they have to do all the things that at one time men were expected to do, like lead a household, because they have never had a man who would take care of his woman by marrying her and treating her like a lady. Chivalry, where he loved her so much that when she walked up to a car, he knew that it was his place to open her door, where she didn't have to raise her children by herself because he was too busy sleeping around with other women to marry her, feeling like he was losing something when he said, I do. But he understood that there was a blessing in changing her name and allowing her to relax and make sure that he kept the roof over her head. We're going to find that and expand it. I'm not going to lie. And put a roof over her head and lead her like Christ ordained him to do. Her survival mode came from not expecting him to stand in his proper place. When a man shows her that he has her best interest at heart and he is going to stay around and fight for her, she doesn't have to feel like she has no choice but to fight for herself. Oh my goodness, this is golden. This is golden. I'm only going to respond to a few things as far as this paragraph. So the first thing is, it's funny people bring up religion and things like that when you're talking about, guys having kids with women and not marrying. You shouldn't be busting it open before marriage. So you want to, oh, what Christ is, you want to put all that in the mix. But these chicks is some bad wenches. These chicks are some concubines. These chicks is having sex out of wedlock and having kids out of wedlock. And this is the thing, the choice, because it's her body, her choice. And it never gets painted as that picture. It gets painted as, oh, this man put her in a position where she had to struggle and she had to, no. She gave the consent to take the meat, right? She gave the consent to take the meat. She gave the consent for the guy to be hitting it raw. She knew he was hitting it raw. She then made the choice after the pregnancy to have the baby instead of getting an abortion, which is something that y'all fought for, which is something that the whole Roe v. Wade, everybody was so upset. So when it comes down to that, it's like we just throw all of that out the window. We throw all the accountability and responsibility out the window. And we just say that guys is not living up to what religion says they should be living up to, even though these women are not really living the way that they should as far as religion is concerned in the first place. In the first place, let me say it again, in the first place. I say this all the time. There is an order to things. There's an order to things when it comes to societies, when it comes to religion. There are structures in place to prevent certain things from happening. When you have kids out of wedlock, you are completely outside of that structure. First comes love, then comes marriage. Then after love and marriage comes the baby carriage. It's not something that like I made up or, ooh, this is my philosophy. This is something that is older than me and you, much older than me and you. That rhyme that I just said is even older than that rhyme. So now when it happens, you get surprised at the results. But she's got more, so let's continue. Again, haven't read any of this. Women are naturally survivors until her man shows her what it looks like for her man to lead her, and then she will naturally submit to him. The problem is a lot of so-called men want the woman to submit to him without submitting to God first and seeking the direction from him so that he can correctly lead her. See, I could respond to this, but this is where she loses me, the religion part. And the reason she loses me there is for two reasons. Number one, most of these women out here today are not religious. Number two, there are a lot of different religions out there. You know, even if you do subscribe to Christianity, which I do, you know, when it comes to, you know, other religions, they have different scriptures and different, you know, ideals when it comes to how women should conduct themselves and how the household should be ran and submission and things of that nature. For example, which I'm not educated on this, so excuse me if I'm, you know, saying something that is not factual. But in some religions, women have to hide their face in public. I'm pretty sure that is an actual thing, but that is not a thing within Christianity, if I am correct. So when we get into religion, yes, we subscribe, as far as most Americans, to Christianity, and then the other half, for the most part, subscribe to, you know, Islam and stuff like that. And then you have some people who are Jewish and stuff like that. But there are other religions outside of that scope as well, all around the planet. This is the thing. This is the third or fourth thing, whatever it is. When it comes to submission, I mean, before there was religion, man and woman existed on some caveman stuff. Like whatever you want to say, like even if you believe in Adam, we weren't always civilized, I don't think. I really don't think. But even in outside of that, when it comes to biology and stuff like that, when it comes to just social interactions, you submit to your boss, and that has nothing to do with religion. So when we talk about submitting in a relationship, there are relationships that have no religion and the woman is submitting. So when we act, if we're going to have a real conversation about this, you know, we could, if you want to have the Christian conversation, we got to be all the way right. We got to be all the way right. If you having sex before marriage, let's stop there. If you had a kid out of wedlock, let's stop there. Let's stop there. Because we're not about to just, oh, a man is supposed to abandon. You didn't do your part. You didn't do your part. So don't get on your high horse now. Let's continue though. A real man doesn't question what a real man is because he possesses the essence of a real man. And I'm not even reading the rest, man. So a real man doesn't question what a real man is, but a woman does, and they always do it in all the comments everywhere, all over the internet, every single day. So what is that? What is that? And again, I'm not gonna go deep. What it comes down to is they love to tell you what a real man is and what it's really. I'm not gonna lie. It's really a manipulation tactic. That's really what it is. Depending on the context it's used in, that's what it is. You got to ask yourself, why don't you see men saying what a real woman is? Why don't you see those words all over the internet running so rampant? You see chicks trying to tell you what a real man is all the time when they've never been a man. But you don't see men saying a real woman would. You don't see men all over the internet saying that. And we got this space, this whole red pill, manosphere, whatever you want to call it. And you still don't see guys saying real woman, real woman. No. We don't do that. We don't do that. And the funniest thing that I think about that is the women think that a real man only exists in the context of a woman. They don't have any idea or any clue what a real man is in any other context because they couldn't fathom what a man's life is like. They don't have any idea. And when I say that, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. They literally have no idea. So boom, let's get to this next one. This is going to be the last one. This chick says, I'm in survivor mode because I chose to be by myself. A lot of men these days can't even help a woman like me, so why even be in a relationship? Single life is the best life for any woman. All this is a cope. That's all this is. I'm not even breaking this down. This is just a cope. So listen, we tried to get some insight. What did we see? We seen some chivalry bullshit, and that was really it. That was really it. Like no real insight other than that men should basically be what religion says man is supposed to be, even though these women are not living religiously. That's just what it is. So when you look at it, you can see the post right there in case you want to go to it, in case you want to check it out, stuff like that. But listen, the first thing I'm going to say is this is a funny contradiction that you see when it comes to women. You see stuff like this right here, that, you have to take a woman out of survival mode. But then on the strong and independent side of things, what did I see yesterday? I seen a woman say that men are intimidated by women with money. Make up your mind. It's always something, but see, when you say anything that favors women, it doesn't matter if it contradicts something else that they have favored before. If it favors them, they will go with it. They will heart it. They will love it. They will think you are talking the greatest shit. So on one hand, independence is great, and men are terrified, absolutely intimidated of women with money, right? Women with money. But then when you go over here, these intimidating women, these women with money that's in survival mode or whatever the case may be, they want to get saved. They want to get saved. They want to get saved. Now, I could go deep, but I'm just going to go to where the video needs to go. Feminism is what did this. Feminism. That's just what it is. They fought for the rights for women to pretty much make equal wages, to be in the workforce and stuff like that. When it comes to women, they practice hypergamy and stuff like that. So when you talk about the women with the income and stuff like that, women in general, they always want a man that is superior to them, period, point blank. So when they begin to get the money, the bar, because you see a lot of them are superficial, they all talk about the money and stuff like that. And this is the thing: once they get out of that phase where, what they are prioritizing is sex and getting meat and all that stuff, once they done prioritizing having fun and getting experiences and stuff like that, they got probably 2 3 kids out of that. Now it's time to find a square mate to settle down with that might not be that sexually attractive, but somebody that's gonna hold it down, somebody's gonna pay them bills, somebody's gonna be consistent, somebody that is more into her than she is into him. And guess what? This be when they like 38 and stuff like that, 34, whatever it might be. And the bar is just too high for what she has to offer, which is not really much in most cases. Now, when I mention feminism, we have to go back in time because feminism isn't the only thing. It's the economy and a few other things, but feminism is one of them. So when you go back in the day, when you go back in time, there were guys who, when you graduated from high school, you didn't have to go to college. There was like, you could go work at the railroad, you could go coal mining, you could help build cars at the manufacturing plant, you could work at the steel mill. It was so many jobs like that to where you didn't have to go to college or trade school. You could just go there and have a career for 40 years. And you could make the type of money to where you can feed a family of 10, buy a house and all of that stuff and own the house and be straight. We live in different times. We live in different times. And the people who don't realize that is women. The people who fought for equal rights and all that stuff that actually can work right now, actually, getting the degrees, getting the good wages, they don't understand that we live in a different economy. They don't understand that the culture has shifted. They don't understand that. And this is the thing, it's not that they don't understand it mentally, because they don't. But it's that instinctively inside of them, their biology, it doesn't care. It doesn't care. At the end of the day, they want to be taken care of. At the end of the day, they want a daddy. They want a father figure that's going to put his foot down. They want somebody that's going to pay all the bills, somebody that's going to put her in a position to where she could just stay home and wash the dishes. But even then, this generation of women, they don't believe in doing any work. So she want to just stay home and shop. That's what she want to do. She want to get the maid to clean and then shop. That would be ideal for any women out of this generation. So that's it for today, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out.